Shamari.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Shamari here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Shamari here once again. Now, I know I've been missing in action, but just for a quick update is I ended up turning off the cable just to offset some costs, so I don't have access to the shows as quickly as I did before. However, I found a website where I can watch my stuff, so I can catch up, so I can get back on my Queen Sugar stuff. But I did want to make sure that I talked about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, because I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, I have to find a way to do this season. Because I didn't get to do Atlanta. I just fell too far behind, and yeah, from what I heard, I didn't miss much anyway. So we're gonna hear the whole talk about Hollywood. So first scene, well, I'm not gonna go scene by scene. I'm just gonna go by groups of individuals. So first scene, I'm gonna get Keyshia Cole out the way. So Keyshia Cole is, I'm afraid for Keyshia Cole on this show, y'all, because I really don't want to believe that Keyshia's with the BS. I really don't. And she's here. It starts off with her and a new song, You, even though it's not new anymore. It's kind of old, but it was still a nice R&B song. I really liked it. She says she's going on tour. She's supposed to be releasing this album. We haven't heard anything else about it since then, so I hope that, you know, she can get that together. But she's supposed to be going on tour and all this other stuff. Now, so far, her story is that she's rooming with her baby daddy who cheated on her and basically treated her like dirt. And I guess he's fallen on hard times and she's helping him out. I guess. And I want to... I can't say that because I haven't been in a position. But I'm just like, if somebody did all that stuff for me, I'm not going to be likely to open up my home to that person. But I feel like because she loved him, because that this is her son's father and she needs child support, she's going to probably open up her home to, you know, the man. So I guess, great. And so far, he has a positive attitude. He came to visit her while she was playing this new track, This Incapable. I'm not sure why this hasn't been released yet. I mean, probably need to check iTunes after this to see if she released it, because it seems like since you're going to introduce it on the show, you might as well, you know, let people hear the whole thing. But Booby came in to talk about how even though he was a crappy husband, he, you know, was willing to be a better friend, be a better father, because of, you know, the fact that she's still doing these things for him after all the things that he's done. So I guess he's going to try to turn the other cheek or whatever. We'll see how the season goes. But that's pretty much all there is with Keyshia for this particular episode. Now we get to the messiness. Everything else. I know a lot of people don't like Hollywood, and I think Hollywood just now got it right with the casting, only because when it first started, there was so many people, so much stuff going all over the place to where it was hard to keep up. And of course, they tried to bring Milan and them the next season, and we saw how that went. And last season, I don't even remember what happened too much. They brought Safari on and whatever. But this time, I think that they're actually getting everybody together to where it makes sense to me. Well, it's granted, it's still messy. So we have Moniece. I have such a love-hate relationship with Moniece because she is annoying as hell. She's very... But at the same time, I get it to a degree, to where it kind of makes me laugh. Like, her version of pettiness is my version of pettiness. And I think that's why I have a little bit of a soft spot for Moniece. Just a little bit. Not very large. Just that much. But she's allegedly dipping in the lady pond. Now, I have to say, now for those who remember, like right when I think the last season ended, when they were trying to film and get stuff together for this new season, they were trying to make it seem like Moniece and Milan Christopher were going to be in a relationship. Now, y'all know Milan is not about to be with no woman. Y'all know Milan Christopher is out here trying to get him some D like the rest of y'all. So, and they were like all on Instagram calling each other bae and baby. I'm like, who is buying this? Who is buying this? Because it's clearly foolish and fake and phony. Okay, like all the rest of the people on this cast. But so instead of going with this gay person, she decided to become gay herself and dip into the lady pond with this stud named AD. Now, again, I don't believe this because this is sounding just like how, oh, Mimi was having all this trouble with Ben, so she decided to get with Chris in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Like, okay, so is this the solution that they're going to put in these shows? Like, these women have all these man trouble, so they just all of a sudden try to set up with a random lesbian, and that's just going to be their storyline? Like, it's not real, but we'll watch it for entertainment purposes. And then they introduce this this character I know is going to wear me low for this whole season, just based off of action and how he acts, and just no. This Zell character, not at all. I'm not going to be able to do this one. I'm gonna be talking crap about him all season because he is the stereotypical messy queen who is an accessory to females to be messy and read and be catty and no. And he's almost like this femme, but not femme as far as like outer appearance, but he has that whole, no. I can't. So Moniece, Zell, and Masika, she done walked out talking about how she got her body snatched from having the baby. She looks good, but yeah, whatever. I just can't with this group. Moniece is the only one I kind of deal with, but even then, that's still many degrees of separation. So they're all together. They talk about, they get the invite to Hazel Lee's party or whatever that she's throwing, and Hazel Lee got this new boyfriend, this Rose Burgundy. That name sounds, doesn't that sound like those would be the names of Beyonce's twins, Rose and Burgundy? Anyways, he's like 10 years younger than her, and she's throwing this event to try to stunt on people, whatever. You know how these Love and Hip Hop people do. They try to throw events to mask them, just an excuse to get people to come together. It's a mess. But they get it, and of course they talking their stuff about how she looks and how she's this and how she's that and blah, blah, blah. Basically, Zell, Moniece, and Masika are like all playing the mean girls to me. Like, their level of petty is so high together, collectively, that it's just, it doesn't come off as flattering. It doesn't, it just seems very childish considering their ages. So, nah. We'll get back to them and their pettiness. So, Brooke Valentine is on this show, y'all. And just, I swear for the life of me, I was in, what, 9th grade when Girl Fight came out? What was that, back in 2004? And she talked about how she had, you know, that hit, which was, I mean, I don't know if it was a hit or not. I just knew, I heard the song. And I didn't know she could sing. Like, she was up there giving me some, you know, some hums and some runs and stuff. When you, in Girl Fight, that was kind of like that talk rapping stuff. So it didn't necessarily require vocal ability. So I didn't know she could sing. But she talked about she had hits like Girl Fight and other things. I want to know what the other things are, because I haven't heard anything else from her other than Girl Fight. But then again, I was young. I was, what, 14? So maybe y'all do. Let me know. Maybe I can look it up and find it. But I just know, all I know was Girl Fight. She took some stuff off. She took some time off to raise her son and whatever. Now she's dating this Marcus, producer / rapper, what have you. They're so in love together, so you know that's not going to last. And they're talking about, oh, I want to get married and this, that, and the fourth. And he says he wants her to hang out with his mom, I guess, Miss Lori. So they out there, they walking, they did, you know, they shooting shit. And she says that, you know, I feel like you guys are great for each other. You know, you're going to make great music together. And she's happy that, you know, I get the stamp of approval from mom. You know, I'm on my way. But she says that he's not going to be walking down the aisle anytime soon. Now, I thought initially that when she said that, because they put it in like a commercial, like for a tidbit for the coming up later in the episode, I thought she was going to be one of the mamas that's like, you know, nobody can have my son. I don't really like you like that or whatever. That's what I thought she was about to give me. But in fact, she tells her that he is actually not divorced from his previous wife. And of course, Brooke is pissed because they're thinking that we about to get down the aisle and you told me that I'm a free agent when you're not a free agent. So Brooke invites him over and basically confronts him like, so you have a whole wife. Like, what's up with that? And he's trying to, you know, do what men do and cope the situation, pretend like it's not really as bad. And what he said in the confessional, which I'm not sure why he didn't just say it to her. Maybe they did and they cut it out. But he was done with his wife, but he didn't want to miss out on the chance to be with her at the time, I believe. So he told her that the divorce was done so that she would be with him, I guess afraid that she wouldn't be with him if it wasn't done. But I felt like if you were just honest and just, because I'm sure anybody can understand the length and the processes of what it is to go through a divorce nowadays. It's not fun. It's long. It's grueling. It could be a mess. So I just felt like if you were honest with her from the beginning that you're, you know, just going through this process and can't get it together, she probably would have understood. Because if you lie and say, and I find out later that you're still married to this person, but you told me that you weren't, it's going to make you look like you're still married to them willingly. You know, it's going to make it seem like you were lying to me so you could be with me and her at the same time. And that's not the case, but it just makes you look bad. Why even go through all that? Might as well just be honest. I'm telling you, honesty is always the key with these situations. So apparently, I don't know how they're gonna make it through the rest of the season, but we'll be watching Miss Brooke Valentine. She's very pretty, though. I will say that she's very pretty. So let's talk about this event that Hazel hosted, or whatever. First of all, Hazel, I don't care much for Hazel, to be honest. Hazel's just seems like one of the type of people who feels the consistent need to prove herself, because throughout this entire episode, she's tried to say, oh, I'm the queen of this, I'm the queen that, I run LA, this is my city, I got this, I have this that costs this much, X, Y, and Z, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. When you know there's somebody who has to constantly flash like material things and numbers and dollars at you, then you know that more often than not, especially since we know Hazel Lee is nowhere else on the blogs or of any relevance outside of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So I need to know how she's earning all these dollars, these coins, these bags, these furs, these helicopters and stuff that she's arriving to her stuff. I need to know where she's getting this from, or is it like Tiara says later on that she's just renting all this stuff? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Because there's no way that you're just doing all this stuff and you ain't. I mean, what do we know her for? What was she like, a party planner, a producer, a promoter? What was Hazel doing? I forgot, but it wasn't enough to be doing all this she doing. Shoot. So she comes out and performs some song, whatever. And let me tell you, like I said, the Petty Betties, this Zell character, Moniece and Masika, they come for whatever reason. If I don't like somebody, I'm not about to come to their event. I don't understand the logic there. But they come to the event with headphones to try to be, you know, whatever. So she up there performing. They in the back kiki and cackling and doing all this other stuff. And once she's done, Masika just starts heckling her on the mic. So Hazel Lee, you know, of course, is being shady, comes back at her and just like, you know, what do we have a problem? What do you have to say? Blah, blah, blah. And Masika throws a drink. Hazel tries to get back at her. I don't know if she tries to hit her with the mic or whatever. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you here? If you don't like somebody, why are you here? And even though I don't like Hazel's and this whole fake, phony stunt she's trying to pull, she did have a point to where, you know, I look like this right now as far as my outfit goes, and Masika tried to come in throwing shade in a tracksuit. I'm just saying. If you're going to try to come to a place where you know that this person doesn't like you, I would try to look my best at least. But, you know, that's them, child. So Tierra and Hazel meet up because they've had this whole on and off relationship. How Tierra has always tried to be a friend to Hazel, but Hazel feels like Tierra's breaking the girl code because she made a song or was working with Berg as far as business goes, and tries to claim that Tierra went down on him. But if I recall, when that whole thing was going down, like, Tierra emphasized that she didn't want him. She had no interest in him, and how he was probably trying to push up on her, but all she wanted to do was make music. So Hazel out here looking stupid, burning bridges with her friend who let her stay with her when she was homeless and was there for her during her nose construction surgery. It's like, I don't understand what Hazel's problem is. It doesn't seem like it's based on any real facts. I'm confused. I don't understand. But I understand completely where Tierra's coming from. She's like, I've been trying to do all this stuff for you, be there for you when you constantly cross me. So I'm done with you. Like, you know, I'm with Team Tierra when it comes to that situation. So as soon as they get up, she starts talking about how you fake, you phony, look at this body, look at all this stuff that I got as far as Hazel goes. Like, I have all these diamonds, this, that, and the fourth. And I'm just like, well, girl, I would hope that you would look sickening because you paid all that money to look sickening. You better look sickening. Okay? Trying to throw it in her face when you just saw how when Tierra was there for you through that whole reconstruction surgery, all that stuff, she was probably there for you. So the fact that you're trying to throw it back in her face like it's an insult, like she doesn't look like you look, makes you look stupid. Because from what I understand, Tierra's natural. Okay, I don't think that Tierra's had any work done unless I'm wrong. Let me know. But Tierra pretty much looks natural. She looks the way that I've always known her to look.
5 o'clock.
Stupid computer. She's looked the way that I've always known her to look. So, I mean, you can't really compare. Like Hazel, if you took away all that Botox, took away all that silicone, and ripped off all that stuff that you put in your nose, what would you look like? If you took away all these rental properties that Mona must be giving you to stunt and do all this stuff, where would you be? What does your account really look like? How many commas do you have in your account? You see what I'm saying? It's just like when she started talking about all the stuff she does, and all, I'm like, that's fake. You ain't probably got none of that stuff that you're talking about. I believe you don't have none of it because you perpetrating. It just screams desperation and phoniness. First of all, I don't even know why Hazel is still on the show. I think she's only on the show to stir up mess between Masika and them. They need each other. They can try to talk about how one is irrelevant over the next, but without the other, neither one of you have a purpose on this show and you don't make checks. So, I'm just saying. So, Hazel and Nikki talk about how Tierra and her and Masika and how they don't like her. And Nikki's kind of getting involved where she doesn't belong. I don't really feel like Nikki belongs in this argument because she was cool with Tierra. And the only thing I guess that she has against Tierra was that she has this drinking problem. Because remember, they were, you know, with Tierra when she went to go turn herself in for that incident she had a year or so ago. And Nikki was there as her friend. So I'm like, why are you, like, pairing with Hazel, whose reason not to like Tierra also doesn't make sense to me? why are you getting involved? It seems like you were one of the people who just kind of like, I'm just going to be a bad bitch and y'all can do whatever y'all want. Like, she's getting involved in the messiness. Makes me look at her like, but why? What involvement do you have here? Whatever. However, she does introduce, she says she's going to introduce you to this new chick, and this is Alexis Sky. Now, Alexis Sky, of course, I've never heard of her. But I think right now, Alexis is my favorite character on the show. Right now. Aside from Keisha. I'm hoping that Keisha's not going to be with the bull. I'm hoping, well, even though her and Lyrica have some kind of drama later on, but we'll get to that later. Alexis Sky is in town. She hates Masika. I'm like, okay, so this is going to be Hazel Lee's ally, along with Nikki, apparently. And it's going to be Zell, Moniece, and Masika versus Nikki, Hazel Lee, and Alexis Sky. That's how this is going to pan out, it looks like. So, Alexis Sky doesn't like Masika because apparently it was Alexis who was with Fetty Wap in an actual relationship, to my understanding, with Fetty Wap, and he cheated on Alexis with Masika and got her pregnant. Now, I'm not sure if, I mean, they're both public figures. I'm sure that Masika knew that about Alexis, but didn't care and got pregnant anyway. So, oh, and then, yeah, Hazel Lee made a mention that Masika messed around with her, Alexis, and Nikki's men. I don't know what man Nikki was dealing with that Masika slept with, because it wasn't Safari. Was it Fizz? I don't know. I didn't. Apparently there was, but we know that Masika did mess around with Young Bird, which was their issue in season, what, 1 or 2? 1 to 2. But I actually feel like, yeah, she has an actual reason to not like Masika. And she's very pretty. So I just hope that she's not going to be with the foolishness. Because right now, she's like one of the most level-headed people on the show, to where I actually understand and it makes sense why she feels the way that she does, why she has the animosity that she does with who she has the animosity with. So, let's see, where are we? Is this the last scene? I think this is the last scene. Yep. So, this is some craziness already here, because Nikki and the squad, or Hazel Lee and Nikki and Alexis squad up trying to go find Masika, or Hosika as they call her. And they know that they frequent this karaoke bar or whatever. So this night in particular, Masika is not there because she says she's booked doing something. She sends Moniece a text saying that she's booked doing something and she's there with Zell. I swear, just seeing him and who he's representing in the media and on TV right now, just... Anyways, they're there, and Nikki and they come and they squad up, and of course they start with the shade right away. Talk about how they're looking for Hosika, where she's at. You know, this is Alexis said, I'm here in the city, so she decided not to show up because she heard that I was coming or whatever. And Zell tried to stand up for Masika, was like, well, she's booked. Alexis said, booked where? Booked where? And he couldn't answer because he doesn't know. Because he asked her the same question when she sent Moniece that text. And how she was talking about how she's booked. He was like, booked doing what? So you can't even sit there and fight her. She's like, booked where? And he could not even give her nothing. So of course, and then Nikki, apparently him and Nikki had words previously, and she said he called her plastic or this, that, and the fourth. And he was like, yeah, you are plastic because you look like X, Y, and Z. And of course, Nikki was like, well, shit, you should look like X, Y, and Z because the way that you looking right now, you need to be plastic. And Zell gonna talk about I'm a sex symbol. Look at all this, honey. Look at all it. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who lied to you, but you ain't nobody's sex symbol. Because when you think of what a sex symbol is, you actually want to have sex with them. I don't necessarily see people lining up to have sex with you. So you can't really categorize yourself as a sex symbol if no one wants to have sex with you. You see, when he said that, I was like, what? The delusions of grandeur, baby. The delusions of grandeur. So Alexis hits her with a purse, or hits him with him. Does it really matter? Because he's portraying the worst. I know I keep saying that, but he is just portraying the worst of the LGBT community. There are so many other more positive portrayals of the community that you can use, and you choose this. So he gets hit with Alexis's bag, and then he throws a drink at her, and I'm like, okay, on one end, I subscribe to where I don't believe that women should hit men and then be surprised when the man hits back. I know that you're not supposed to hit a woman, that's all the case, but if you're going to poke and prod a bear over and over again, you can't be surprised that that bear decides to poke back. So that's on one end, I believe that Alexis hit him. But at the same time, dude, you're going to throw a drink at a woman? Wow. I'm gonna be laying into this man all season long. I can see it already. But that was the episode, y'all. I'm gonna try to get back caught up with Queen Sugar on tomorrow's episode. I actually have to watch the last two that came because I haven't been able to see them. But I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of things as best as I can, considering the situation, baby. It's so much crap going on, y'all. But I appreciate those of you who stay here with me during it all. I'm going to try to do what I can to keep you guys satisfied. Make sure you follow me across all my social media, which will be in the bottom link below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe. Jamar Washington.